Blueface just went live, and what he said has the entire internet split down the middle. Allegations, setup claims, secret screenshots, and one name echoing through every comment section, Pooh Shiesty. If you thought you'd seen it all in hip-hop drama, think again. This is Hood Files, where reputations are questioned, friendships turn fragile, and one live stream can change everything. Last night, Blueface didn't just respond. He exploded. "Yo, really believe that?" He snapped into the camera, staring down thousands of viewers in real time. The internet couldn't believe it, and you won't either. Was he defending himself? Was he exposing something bigger? Or was this just another chapter in a never-ending rap rivalry spiral? And let me ask you something. If you were in his position, same accusation, same pressure, same spotlight, what would you do? Because according to Blueface, the story we've been hearing, he says it's backwards. Completely. Bro said too much and they got him, one fan commented. But did he? Let's break it all down. And trust me, it gets uglier. When Blueface went live that night, nobody expected to turn into a full-blown internet courtroom. At first, it felt random. No big promo. No dramatic countdown. Just a notification. Blueface is now live. But within seconds, the comments started flooding in. People weren't there for small talk. They wanted answers. Because for days, social media had been buzzing with rumors, whispers, and accusations tying his name into a situation that fans claimed didn't add up. And hovering over all of it, one major name, Pooh Shiesty. Now, let's rewind for a second. Blueface has never been a stranger to controversy. His career has practically grown alongside chaos. Viral fights, public relationships, online feuds. He's built a reputation for being unpredictable, sometimes funny, sometimes reckless, always headline-worthy. And when you have that kind of track record, the internet doesn't exactly give you the benefit of the doubt. So when allegations and set-up conversations started circulating online, people were already picking sides before he even spoke. According to trending blogs and hip-hop commentary pages, there were claims floating around suggesting Blueface had been involved in something messy behind the scenes, something that allegedly didn't happen the way the public was being told. No confirmed reports, no official paperwork, just screenshots, reaction videos, and anonymous sources close to the situation. And in 2026 social media culture, that's more than enough to light a fire. Meanwhile, Pooh Shiesty's name kept appearing in hashtags, not because he had made a public statement, but because internet detectives decided the story somehow connected back to him. That's how it works now. One tweet becomes a thread becomes a theory becomes everybody knows. And suddenly, narratives start forming without anyone verifying anything. So when Blueface appeared on that live stream, the tension was already built. He wasn't walking into a calm audience. He was walking into judgment. At first, he looked almost amused, shaking his head, reading comments out loud. Then someone asked directly about the alleged setup. That's when the energy shifted. His expression changed. His tone sharpened. He leaned closer to the camera. "Mere Upper Joe allegations lag I jarahi hain," he said, switching between calm and frustration. "Wo surf mui chup karain kalia hain." Satch Bilkul opposite high. That sentence alone sent the chat into chaos. Because now it wasn't just rumors anymore. It was denial. It was counter-accusation. It was a challenge to the narrative. He claimed the story being pushed online was backwards, completely flipped. And then came the part that made people screenshot the stream instantly. He said he had proof that, according to him, would show the situation had been planned. Not random, not accidental, planned. But here's where things get complicated. He didn't show the proof, not on that live. He just said it existed, and that was enough. Within minutes, clips of the stream were reposted everywhere. TikTok edits with dramatic music. Twitter threads analyzing his facial expressions. YouTube commentators pausing frame by frame, like it was a crime documentary. Some viewers said he looked confident. Others said he looked offensive. A few even claimed he looked nervous. Because when you slow someone's face down to 0.5 speed, suddenly everyone becomes a body language expert. The blogs wasted no time either. Headlines popped up overnight. Blueface responds to set up allegations. Rapper claims story is opposite of what's being told. Proof incoming? Notice the wording. Nothing confirmed. Just tension packaged for clicks. Fans split into two clear camps. One side argued that Blueface wouldn't go live unless he had something solid. They pointed out that in previous situations, he had sometimes doubled down without hesitation. They believed this was just another moment where he was being targeted unfairly. The other side wasn't buying it. They argued that saying you have proof and actually showing it are two different things. In their eyes, this was damage control. And hovering over everything was that subtle mention of Pooh Shiesty's name. Not a direct accusation. Not a clear explanation. Just a hint. Enough to keep speculation alive without crossing into specifics. Behind the scenes, hip-hop insiders, or at least people claiming to be insiders, began posting cryptic messages. Y'all don't know the half of it. This about to get exposed. Just wait. Vague statements designed to fuel curiosity without saying anything concrete. Because in the world of viral controversy, mystery sells better than facts. What makes the situation even more layered is a history of competition in rap culture. Rivalries don't always need direct confrontation. Sometimes they thrive on perception. If fans believe there's tension, tension exists. And once the public starts connecting dots, real or imagined, it becomes almost impossible to untangle. Blueface ended the live stream abruptly. No dramatic mic drop. No final reveal. Just a quick exit after repeating that the truth would eventually come out. And somehow, that exit felt louder than anything he said. Because now the question wasn't just whether the allegations were true. The question became, what happens if he actually releases something? Receipts, screenshots, voice notes, anything. Would it clear his name? Or would it open an entirely new chapter of chaos? The internet doesn't forget, and it definitely doesn't forgive easily. Once your name trends next to words like setup, planned, and proof, you're already fighting uphill, even if nothing has been officially confirmed. By the next morning, reaction videos had millions of views. Comment sections turned into debate arenas. Some people brought up past controversies as pattern evidence. Others argued that past drama doesn't automatically mean present guilt. It became less about facts and more about narrative loyalty. People weren't just defending evidence. They were defending the version of reality they preferred. And that's the dangerous part. Because when stories start forming faster than truth, the loudest voice often wins, not the most accurate one. Blueface seemed confident on camera. But confidence doesn't automatically equal clarity. And silence from the other side only made speculation louder. Pooh Shiesty hadn't responded publicly to the indirect mentions swirling around his name. No tweets, no live sessions, just quiet. And in controversy culture, silence can mean anything. Strategy, disinterest, legal advice, or simply refusing to feed the noise. Less than 24 hours after that livestream ended, the situation didn't cool down. It detonated. A series of screenshots began circulating across social media, allegedly connected to private conversations tied to the controversy. No one could verify where they came from. No one could confirm if they were edited. But that didn't stop them from spreading like wildfire. Twitter threads dissected every word. Instagram blogs posted red circles around timestamps. TikTok creators zoomed in on profile pictures as if they were decoding national secrets. And just like that, the narrative shifted from he said, she said to receipts are coming. Some accounts claimed the screenshots proved Blueface had been aware of behind-the-scenes plotting. Others argued the messages showed the opposite, that he had been blindsided and set up. The truth? Nobody actually knew. But that didn't matter anymore. Because once the internet smells mystery, it doesn't wait for confirmation. It creates momentum. Hip-hop blogs added fuel to the fire with vague but dramatic headlines. Exclusive sources suggest more to the story. Industry Insider speaks out. Was this all set up? Notice how carefully those titles are worded. Suggest, speaks, was, nothing concrete. Just enough to keep you scrolling. Then came the reaction videos. Content creators leaned into the drama heavy. Some defended Blueface passionately, pointing to inconsistencies in the circulating rumors. Others questioned why he hinted at proof but hadn't released anything yet. One commentator sarcastically said, "Because nothing screams innocence like saying I got proof and then logging off." That clip alone racked up hundreds of thousands of views within hours. Meanwhile, fans dug into past interviews, old tweets, and archived live streams, trying to find patterns. In today's culture, history becomes evidence, even when it's unrelated. Old rivalries were brought back into conversation. Past arguments were reinterpreted through this new lens. People began connecting dots that may not have even existed before. And then, just when things felt like they were stabilizing, another rumor surfaced. An anonymous blog post claimed there had been internal industry tension brewing for months. It referenced jealousy, miscommunication, and business disagreements, but provided no documents, no names beyond what was already public, and no official statements. Still, it spread. Why? Because drama doesn't need paperwork. It needs curiosity. The most interesting part wasn't the allegations themselves. It was the reaction from the culture. Some artists subtly tweeted cryptic messages like, "Truth always come out," without directly naming anyone. Fans immediately assumed those tweets were connected. Were they? No one could say for sure. But speculation doesn't wait for clarity. Even reaction channels started slowing down Blueface live stream frame by frame. They analyzed his tone shifts, his eye contact, the way he paused before mentioning proof. One viral clip zoomed in on his expression and claimed, "That's not anger, that's frustration," as if emotional interpretation was scientific fact. On the other side, supporters argued that if he truly had nothing to stand on, he wouldn't have addressed it live at all. They pointed out that going live invites real-time scrutiny. No edits, no PR filter, just raw response. To them, that suggested confidence. But critics weren't convinced. They argued that in the era of viral moments, going live can also be strategic. It creates urgency. It shifts headlines. It buys time. And speaking of time, days passed. No proof dropped. No official documents surfaced. No direct response from Pooh Shiesty. Silence. And somehow, that silence became louder than the live stream itself. Some fans interpreted it as maturity. Others interpreted it as avoidance. A few suggested lawyers might be involved behind the scenes, advising both sides to stay quiet. Again, no confirmation. Just theories stacking on top of theories. The blogs kept recycling the story. Each repost slightly exaggerated the tone. What started as claims of setup slowly transformed into alleged betrayal, then into industry conspiracy whispers. That's how escalation works online. Each retelling raises the stakes just enough to keep attention locked. Then came the financial rumors. A commentary page suggested there were hidden business tensions linked to contracts and revenue splits. No paperwork was shown. No filing cited. Just speculation framed as what insiders are hinting at. And of course, people ran with it. Because in celebrity culture, money is always a believable motive. One sarcastic meme even went viral saying, "In rap beef, follow the money." It was funny, but it also fueled the idea that this wasn't just personal, it was strategic. Blueface eventually returned to social media, but not with the explosive reveal people expected. Instead, he posted casually, music snippets, lifestyle content, subtle jabs that could mean anything or nothing at all. Supporters said he looked unbothered. Critics said he was deflecting. And the longer the alleged proof stayed unreleased, the more divided the audience became. Because here's the thing about online scandals. They don't need resolution to survive. They thrive in ambiguity. Podcasts picked up the topic. Some hosts laughed it off as typical rap industry chaos. Others warned that careless rumors can damage real reputations. A few even questioned whether the audience itself plays a role in amplifying situations beyond reality. That's when the conversation shifted from what happened to why does this keep happening in hip-hop culture? Trust issues, competition, clout, monetized drama. And in the middle of it all, two names trending whether they liked it or not. Then, just when it felt like the storm might finally settle into background noise, a new clip surfaced. An old interview resurfaced where Blueface had once talked about loyalty and betrayal in the industry. Out of context, It sounded almost prophetic. Fans stitched it next to his recent live stream statements. Suddenly, the past felt connected to the present. Was it intentional? Probably not. Did it reignite the fire? Absolutely. Comment sections exploded again. He been new. This bigger than we think. Watch who you trust. The internet loves a storyline with layers. But just when we thought it was over, another name came up. Not in an official statement. Not in a press conference. Just a subtle mention during a late-night live stream recap by a popular hip-hop blogger. They suggested that someone from within the extended circle, not Blueface, not Pooh Shiesty directly, may have been stirring the pot behind the scenes. No receipts, no verified proof, just sources say. And that was enough to reopen everything, because once a third angle enters the story, the plot thickens. Suddenly, the narrative wasn't just about alleged setup claims anymore. It became about loyalty, about trust, about who benefits when two names trend for the wrong reasons. Fans started asking different questions. Who gains clout from this chaos? Who profits from reaction videos, blog clicks, and viral debates? In the age of monetized controversy, drama itself is currency. Blueface stayed mostly quiet after his initial live stream. No dramatic reveal. No document dump. Just occasional posts that could be interpreted 100 different ways. A song preview with lyrics about betrayal. A caption that read, "Truth, don't rush." Was it related? Maybe. Maybe not. But in controversy culture, everything feels intentional. Pooh Shiesty's silence continued too. No direct engagement with the rumors tying his name into the alleged setup narrative. Some fans called that strategic. Others called it smart. A few critics tried to frame the silence as suspicious. But again, without evidence, it was just noise. And that's when the emotional weight of it all started to show. Because beyond the blogs and the memes, there's a real cost to constant public suspicion. Reputation isn't just about headlines. It affects brand deals, collaborations, industry relationships. When your name trends next to words like setup and proof, even without confirmation, sponsors pay attention. Labels pay attention. Other artists definitely pay attention. One entertainment analyst on a podcast put it bluntly. In today's culture, perception moves faster than facts. And once perception hardens, it's hard to reverse. That line stuck. Behind the scenes, at least according to insiders speaking in hypotheticals. Situations like this often trigger private conversations. Management teams reassessing strategy. Publicists advising restraint. Lawyers recommending silence over spectacle. None of that was confirmed publicly, but it wouldn't be surprising. When narratives spiral, damage control becomes priority. Meanwhile, fans kept choosing sides. Some argued that Blueface had every right to defend himself publicly if he felt misrepresented. They believed the confidence in his tone meant he wasn't afraid of whatever receipts might surface. Others insisted that until actual evidence appears, bold statements don't mean much. Talk is cheap, one viral comment read. Drop the proof or drop the topic. The phrase "drop the proof" started trending under reposted clips, but days turned into weeks, and nothing concrete emerged. That silence did something interesting. It shifted attention away from the original claims and toward a bigger conversation about how quickly the internet builds cases without courtrooms. Reaction channels began debating not the alleged setup, but the culture of instant judgment itself. Are live streams and new press conferences? Are blogs and new tabloids? Is silence admission or protection? And somewhere in the middle of all that noise, the emotional toll became visible. Not necessarily through breakdowns or dramatic exits, but through subtle shifts, less engagement, fewer reactive posts, a quieter presence. One industry commentator suggested that sometimes the smartest move in a viral storm is to let it exhaust itself, because internet outrage has a short lifespan. Today's scandal is tomorrow's forgotten thread. But here's the twist. Just as the conversation began cooling off, an unexpected freestyle clip surfaced. Blueface in a studio session, rapping about fake narratives, wolves in disguise, and smiles hiding motives. No names mentioned, no direct references, but the timing felt deliberate. Fans immediately connected it to the controversy. Some praised it as turning pain into art. Others accuse him of monetizing drama. And that right there sums up the paradox of celebrity conflict. Every move can be interpreted two ways: defensive or strategic, honest or calculated, victim or villain. Pooh Shiesty supporters push back online, arguing that dragging his name into speculation without clear statements was unfair. They emphasize that trending conversations don't equal involvement, and in truth, they had a point. In the digital era, association can happen without participation. The story slowly transformed from who set up who to why do we assume there was a setup at all? Because at no point had official documents, confirmed recordings, or verified statements proven any coordinated plan. What existed were claims, counterclaims, tone analysis, and viral momentum. And yet, the impact was real. Streams spiked, search trends climbed, commentary channels gained subscribers. The machine kept moving. But emotionally, situations like this leave scars. Even if nothing is proven, even if no legal action follows, being at the center of suspicion changes how people look at you, at least temporarily. One fan wrote in the comment section, "This industry eats its own." Dramatic? Maybe, but it captured the feeling many viewers had. That fame amplifies everything, especially conflict. As weeks passed, the urgency faded. Other headlines replaced it. New controversies, new viral moments. That's the rhythm of the internet. It never stays focused for long. Still, the unresolved nature of the situation lingered. No explosive reveal, no dramatic confrontation, no official confirmation of a setup. Just tension that flared, burned bright, and then simmered into background noise. And maybe that's the real lesson here. In the age of live stream reactions and screenshot investigations, narratives don't need endings. They just need engagement. Truth becomes secondary attraction. And sometimes the loudest moment is the one that never gets fully explained. So what actually happened behind the scenes? Was there ever a real coordinated plan? Or was this simply another example of how quickly speculation can snowball when big names collide? We may never get a clear answer. Because in this story, no one vanished. No one confessed. No dramatic courtroom scene unfolded. Just silence. Strategic, calculated, or simply exhausted silence. And in today's culture, silence might be the most powerful move of all. The live stream ended. The hashtag slowed. The comments move on. But the question still hangs in the air. When the cameras turn off, who controls the narrative? And more importantly, who pays the price when the narrative takes on a life of its own? So here we are, a live stream that shook the timeline. Allegations that spread faster than facts. Names trending. Silence echoing louder than statements. Blueface says the story is flipped. He hinted at proof. He challenged the narrative. Pooh Shiesty never directly fed the noise. The blogs kept posting. The fans kept choosing sides. But let me ask you something real. Did we witness a genuine defense? Or just another masterclass in controlling the spotlight? Because in today's culture, perception is power. And once the internet decides on a storyline, it's almost impossible to rewrite it. So what do you think? Was this all just online exaggeration? Was someone protecting their image? Or did the truth get buried under viral momentum? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything. I want to know where you stand on this. And don't just scroll past this one. Hit that like button if you believe there's more to this story than we're being shown. Subscribe if you're tired of surface level headlines and want the deeper breakdowns. Because trust me, in this industry, silence never means a story is over. It just means the next chapter is loading. And when it drops, you already know where to be. Stay tuned